Morning! Bright and early on a Monday, day one of school holidays for so many of you. I'll be really interested to see who jumps on actually in live at being school holidays. I encourage you to check your analytics because things do change quite a bit for people's routines and their behaviours and how they go, checking into social media and the likes as well. So that's absolutely nothing of what I wanted to talk to you about today, but I just thought I'd mention it. So I've got the next 8 hours to myself at home, which I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about. And I will be spending the whole day working on my business, which kind of contradicts everything of what I'm talking about today. But today's, I wanted to talk to you about the fact that there is more to life than business, which might sound like the most bananas, ridiculous, holy moly topic, look at my hair, thing to talk about. And I'm sure some of you are shaking your head, and we all go through ebbs and flows where when your business is the bee's knees, and you have, hey Tamara, nice to see you. Good morning to you too, lovely lady. Sometimes you're obsessed with your business, and I've kind of been in one of those patches myself, to be honest, and I haven't had a whole lot going on outside, other than the normal household, family, life thing. But my life has been revolving around my business, which I've really enjoyed, but you get to a point where you start to feel burnout coming on, and you realise how kind of head down, bums up you've been, and how nitty-gritty obsessed you are with the granular detail. And for me personally, that's a really, really unhealthy position for me to be in. And then I go on this soul-searching journey of what I want to do with my life and how I want to... what I want to do from a day-to-day perspective and how I want to be remembered and all the rest of it. And the test that I always give myself, and this is a little bit weird, so bear with me, is the funeral test. Which sounds nuts, I know, so stick with me, don't disappear. So my dad passed away when I was really little, and my mum made the decision to take us, my sister and I, to the funeral. And I spoke at the funeral, I was 6 at the time. And I remember, even at that young age, learning a lot about my dad's life. Now, obviously, I just kind of knew him as my dad. But he, surprise, surprise, had this big, wide, amazing life before having children. A lot of which I learned about on the day, but also have subsequently learned about. And I just feel when you go to funerals, you do end up learning lots about the person there. And the reason why I go back to my funeral test is, at the moment, if I died tomorrow, heaven forbid, there wouldn't be a whole lot to talk about at my funeral other than my beautiful family and my business. And a lot of that rich, the hobbies that we have and the way we spend our time and what we like to do in our spare time has kind of gone out the window because I don't have any spare time. And all the spare time that I do have, I've been prioritising my business, which is just not a good place for me to be in. Some people thrive in that environment, and hats off to you. I don't know how you do it, but good on you. But for me personally, the richness of life and the tapestry of life is what kind of gets my the fire in my belly burning and what keeps me motivated to keep moving forward. And I've lost that balance at the moment, and it's something that I've been proactively trying to bring back in. And I actually hate the word balance because I really do feel like life goes in ebbs and flows, and there are times when everything falls into place and it's a little bit unnerving because everything's going a little bit too well, but just around the corner there's another grenade, I guess, and throws you back off track. So today I wanted to talk to you about the importance of having something going on outside of your business and outside of your kids, because your kids are awesome, but my funeral would also be a very quick one. I totally agree, Tamara. It'd be like, Emily was an amazing woman. She had 2 great kids and she's got a great business. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the chicken sandwiches. Need to do something about that. And I am doing something about that. So this is your little sense check. Go to your funeral and just imagine what your family and your friends would be saying about you. And if you do find yourself completely obsessed about your business, you're lying in bed with all those little files ticking over going, oh, I've got to do this and what about this and could I do this and how do I get them and how do I get them back and da 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 da. And you've got major social media FOMO. You kind of have to be on social media all the time in fear that something amazing might happen and you're not going to be part of the action. You need to adjust something. Something's not quite working. And if you're finding it hard to switch off from your business, and I totally understand, I'm there with you every single step of the way, you need to start to take some put some plans in place to prioritize yourself and your mental health ahead of just your business. So whilst I hate the word balance, it is important to have something going on outside of work, outside of your business and outside of your children, because your kids are awesome, but you know, they play a certain role, but not every role. So what could that outlet be? $1 million question. So I always go back with, when I'm talking to my girlfriends, using the word hobby, which apparently is a really old school word. So I'm just going to be a loser. I'm going to tell you some of my hobbies, and you will soon get a really good insight into my personality and into why me using the word hobby is completely acceptable, because I have some hobbies that are really old school, but serve an amazing purpose for me to have it be a creative outlet. They give me time away from the madness of life and give me an amazing sense of achievement. So what do I do? So your outlet can be physical. You can go and do physical activity, and heaps of people I know go for runs and they go to the gym and they do Pilates and all that sort of stuff, which, great, good job you. But it doesn't have to be physical activity. You could learn, it could be an intellectual, so you could learn a new skill, you could do something creative, you could do something social. Like, I've got a girlfriend who goes and does ballroom dancing 3 times a week, and she's only in her early 30s and she's still doing ballroom dancing, which is probably why I love you, Sarah. You're an old school girl like me and a bit of a nana. But it doesn't have to be, oh, I'm going to have to start running or I'm going to have to start, you know, training for marathon. So what I do, and sorry, before I tell you some of the crazy things that I get up to, it doesn't have to be one single thing. And once you make the decision to have a hobby, you don't need to lock yourself into that for the rest of your life. So I think that's probably where people get a bit stuck, is that they're like, oh, I'm going to sign up for tennis lessons and then I'm going to be doing tennis for the next 37 years. And do I love tennis enough to be doing tennis lessons for that long? Maybe it's not tennis. Maybe it should be basketball. Or maybe I should go and start sewing. And you just get stuck in this spiral of not taking action and not getting yourself out there doing something. So if you feel like doing tennis lessons, go and do tennis lessons. And if you do them for 3 months and that's it, awesome job you. You'll have a slightly better serve. Your ground strokes will be awesome and you'll be feeling primed when it comes to the tennis season. But you don't have to do that for forever. You might decide in 3 months' time that you're going to start ballroom dancing with my girlfriend Sarah, or you're going to take up sewing lessons, or whatever it might be. And I actually really love the variety that is on offer out there, and all the different crazy things that I've been able to do in my time. So I know you're sitting on the edge of your chair waiting for me to reveal what some of my hobbies are. So I'm such a loser. I'm sorry. I literally sit here and make myself laugh. It's tragic. And thankfully there's a few of you on there watching this, so hopefully you're laughing at me as well, or laughing with me probably. So what do I do? So when I first realised I was in a rut, or I was stuck in this kind of business-obsessed FOMO land, I started quilting. Yep, quilting. I got my needle and my thread and I learnt how to quilt. And a few of my girlfriends who are probably watching this are laughing, because they did laugh at me, and they laughed at me extensively at the time. I was actually wanting to have a baby, and I didn't have any children at the time. And I just had in my head that it would be a nice skill to have as a mum in the future, to be able to sew and to be able to provide for my kids, because I was born in the 1800s, probably. So I went out and learned how to quilt, and I feel like I should be like Exhibit A and show you some of my quilts. And my God, I have created some masterpieces. But I quickly, not that quickly, but you know, within 6 to 12 months, I was over quilting. I'd made a few, I was pregnant, and you know, kind of job done. I knew how to sew the basics, and I kind of felt like, box ticked, what's going to be next? So, you know, then I went and did Pilates for a while. I did do tennis lessons as well. I did them with my partner, which was a bit weird, and it got a bit competitive at times, I must admit. I went to the driving range once a week and hit a bucket of balls, and my God, that is so good for stress relief. If you are feeling a bit shit about your business, things aren't going right, you've got no control and you feel like you're just losing the plot, going to a driving range, even if you can't play golf, and trust me, not a golfer, hitting a bucket of balls is the greatest sense of satisfaction. Again, that probably gives you a great insight into my personality, but again, just trying something new every week, trying something new every month, whatever it might be. I did a couple of local exercise classes. I started doing a no lights, no lycra exercise class. If you haven't heard of it, you should check it out, because it's a shitload of fun. I don't know why I'm a potty mouth today, sorry. You literally dance in the dark. So they don't permit you to wear lycra, and they kind of do, but you don't have to wear lycra. You can go, there are people wearing like basically pajama pants. And they turn all the lights out and they just pump up the music and you feel like you're in a nightclub or a rave and you just dance for an hour. Like quite literally. Yep, you bang into people. Yep, you laugh. Yep, you nearly wet your pants. It's so much fun. And that for me was like actually I should get back into it now that I'm talking about it. I remember how good it was. It's held at the local school. Like it's literally a local initiative and it's freaking awesome for stress relief, turning off all those files in your head when you're stressing about social media and how you're going to get more customers and where your orders are going to come from and accounting and all the rest of it. It really is a great source of energy, excitement and fun. And that's kind of what my point for you today was going to be, or is meant to be, if you haven't already picked it up, is that having something outside of your business is absolutely critical for your business success. It clears your brain, it gives you a different environment, uses different sides of your brain, and it gets you looking at the world with a slightly different level of energy and enthusiasm and a different lens. And those are the activities that are going to bring value and bring excitement back into your business that will end up making your business better than it is today, even though you're spending less time working on your business. And look, I totally get it. I've got two really tiny or small children, not that tiny, but they're small, young. I have, you know, we've all got bucket loads going on, and I often think every spare minute should be spent building my business. Oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, my to-do list never gets any smaller, all those kind of things. Like, none of us are perfect. We're all battling the same, exactly the same small business crap. But you are in control, and it's you that is going to be able to make those changes and that is going to be able to switch that flick that switch. I haven't had a coffee for months. Maybe that's what's wrong with my voice or my language skills. And it is going to get you back energized, excited, and motivated to pump out some of those goals in your business. So, and the other really big thing for me, not only is it a great sense of achievement, and the other crazy thing that I did for a while, it just popped into my head, is I started colouring in. I got major FOMO with this global adult colouring in craze. I got given a couple of colouring in books for my, I think Mother's Day. I think my kids gave one for me for Mother's Day. And I started colouring in. And the sense of achievement that I had when I'd finished colouring in one of those pages, God, it's easy, was amazing. And did you know, on a side note, that there is a global shortage of colouring in pencils now because of that trend? Nobody saw that trend coming, and the world can't keep up with colouring in pencils. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, so colouring in is another really good example. And the number one thing that it has taught me, not only does it remind me that I need to be doing something other than my business, it shows me, and it consistently shows me, that I deserve something just for me. And that's exactly what that is, what a hobby is. It is just something for you. And you be selfish for that hour a week. It doesn't have to be 3 hours a day. It can be 1 hour a week. And if you can't find an hour a week, there's something going on that's not quite right. That is your time. And you deserve it. And you absolutely deserve it. You make yourself a priority for 1 hour a week. You go and dance your little heart out at No Lights for Lycra. You sit in a beautiful cafe overlooking the ocean and you colour in. You go to a Pilates class, you have a tennis lesson, whatever it might be. That is your time, and you absolutely deserve that. And we so often forget that when we have the 55,000 hats going on, where we're meant to be the perfect chef and for the family and doing the chores and the family and the driver and the taxi and the school mum and on the PTA and da-da-da-da. Just cut all that shit out. You deserve 1 hour a week to have yourself a little hobby. So hopefully that has hit a chord. And you're not sitting there planning your funeral, but you're sitting there planning what you're going to do next so that your funeral is fulfilling and exciting for the people that are actually at your funeral. So this week I want you to have a think about what some of the things are that you could be doing to kickstart that hobby, I guess, or to work out what you're going to do. And I've rattled off some really random ones today, which totally fine. Thanks, Claire. I look forward to chatting to you and understanding what your hobbies are, girlfriend. So I would just start by writing a list of the things that you love doing. And that might be where you love spending your time, how you love spending your time, what makes you feel, you know, amazing. Is it going for a jog? Is it meeting new people? Is it doing something creative? Whatever it might be, just write that list of all those things that kind of get you going and that get you excited. And then start to have a think about what are some of the things that you could be doing to bring those things to life. And as I said, you are not locking yourself into a hobby for the next 27 years. You might just say, okay, for the next month, for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and lock myself away in a beautiful cafe overlooking the ocean and do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go for a walk every day to a new spot of Melbourne and explore. I'm going to go shopping. Whatever it might be, that's the sort of stuff that you need to start scheduling into your diary. So this week, write your list and start to come up with what some of those things are that you could be doing with your time, and schedule it in. Find that little pocket in the week, whether it's during the day, whether it's at night, whatever it might be, schedule it in the diary. Because if you don't put it in the diary, it's never going to happen. Because we all know how life gets in the way and things go cray-cray. You just need to block that time out in your diary and make it happen. Make yourself accountable. Tell your girlfriends what you're going to do. I've just told you basically what I'm going to do, what I've been doing. Send me a note and go, this week I'm going to join a dancing class. I'm going to start Pilates. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Whatever it might be, make yourself accountable and make it happen. There is way, 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 way more to life than your business. And your business will thank you for having a greater balance or having something, another outlet outside of your business so that you don't become that obsessed, crazy person like I have been for the last few months, because none of us want to feel like that and none of us want to be like that. So I am going back to no lights, no lycra this week. I've just convinced myself whilst talking to you. And I have actually scheduled a night out on my own, which the other thing that I quite like doing is going to the movies by myself, which again might give you an insight into my personality. But yeah, Thursday night is my night. I haven't quite worked out what I'm going to do yet, but I'm so looking forward to just doing nothing, to be honest, and spending that time and allowing myself that time to do nothing. Have an awesome week. Good luck for those that are on school holidays. I have scheduled the bananas and the pants off my family this week. Both of the boys are out of the house today and I'm home by myself doing a mammoth day of work, but I'm really looking forward to it. If you need some help with how to survive school holidays, I've got a blog coming out this week, so watch out for it. And yeah, thanks so much to all those amazing people that sent me a note about my little sneak peek rebrand. Super exciting, thank you. I didn't expect the feedback, and I think I've upset a few of you because I didn't quickly back it up with the next installment. I just like to keep you hanging. So watch this space. There is some really exciting things coming that I'll be sharing with you in the next week or so. Have an awesome week. The sun's shining in Melbourne, which is a good thing. You might need 27 layers to survive, but the sun's shining. So get out there and enjoy it. More to life than business. Comment below if you want to chat, and I'll see you soon.